Get ready to enter the vortex. The Anal Retentive Housewife, starring Vandita. Today's episode, Making a List.
And welcome to another episode of the Anal Retentive Housewife. As always, I'm Vandita, your host, and this is little Miss Sammy. And you may have noticed she got a little gabuzz. So she's got the lion's cut, which means she's all gabuzzed except for her little tail. Now, some of you may think that that's cruel and unusual, but let me tell you, I don't put these kitties through anything that I don't do myself. And it keeps them nice and clean and very snuggly. And this way they look cute in their little sweaters that I get for them. Also, it keeps the mess and fur edge down to an absolute minimum. So, say hi to the camera. Hello. Okay, she's getting a little annoyed because she don't know what to make of her new hairdo, and it takes a while to get used to a new hairdo, as we all know. Anyway, on to today's episode called Making a List, and I realize this may not be as timely as I would have liked to have had this episode, but in any case, it's always valid, and you can certainly save it for next year also. The primary purpose of making a list is to write down a list of things that one desires. Now, when you make a list of presents that you would like to get, it doesn't mean that you need them or that they're useful in any way, shape, or form. That's not the point of receiving a gift. The point of receiving a gift is to getting something you want. You don't actually have to use it. The gift giving is all about something you want. If you needed it, you probably would have already gotten it for yourself. Okay, that being said, my question to the audience at large is, if you give people a list of stuff that you want, then how, and people have asked you for a list of stuff that, you know, what do you want for Christmas, for example, or what do you want for your birthday? And you give them the list, and then you expect to get things from the list so you can cross them off your list, because that's one of the other purposes of making a list, is to cross things off. But then they don't get you what you want. So what was the point of asking about the list? I don't know. I don't understand it. Because if somebody says to me that they want something, then I get it for them. And that's it. No discussion, no whatever. And if I want to give them something that I have thought about myself to make it a little more thoughtful, or, you know, just something that I wanted to give from me to them, then I do that in addition to what they requested. So I don't get why people do that. Anyway, that's probably a whole discussion in and of itself. But what I like to do, and this is for my long-term lists, in other words, things that I would like to buy or get or receive, projects in the future. I type them into the computer, and I put them into a format using one of the, if you go into your Microsoft Word program, you go Tools, Envelopes and Labels, and you pick one of the pre-formatted Avery business card labels, then you can print out little business cards that you can then perforate out, thereby making lovely little pre-categorized business cards of things you want. And so then when somebody asks you, what would you like, then you can say, oh, well, did you have a price range in mind? Yes, no. And then where did you want to buy it from? Because what I try to do for each of my areas that I want to purchase from, whatever, I try to write down the item name, product code, price, where to buy it from, as in, a particular website, Amazon.com, WilliamSonoma.com, or a certain store, Ann Taylor, Neiman Marcus, blah, blah, blah. So I try to be as thorough in the information I give to them, which of course they never use, but in any case, I do not want to be the holdup of me receiving gifts. So I have several categories. Furniture, realizing of course I will never get furniture from people, but this is my personal list. Things for me, so this is titled Bandita. So I want like roller skates, blade bag, snowboard, then your luggage, but these are not, I haven't put too much description behind these because I haven't decided exactly which model, which style, price, and so on. So these are more personal lists. I also have computer activities. So I want to, for example, get a new speaker subwoofer system and then connect it to the computer. I have CDs listed. Alice Cooper, Raise Your Fist and Yell. Rush, Archives Volume 1. Squeeze, Babylon and On. And then some Brazilian dance CDs. If there's a specific person I want to buy gifts for, like my niece, I'll write her name on a card and say these are gifts I want to get for her. I have a list of home hardware items that I want to upgrade in and around our house, like door stops, air vents, wall bumpers, etc. I want to upgrade our switch plates. So it's the plate, when you turn your light switch on and off, you can get the plate behind it. Then I'm planning to paint the house inside. So I have the different areas that need to be painted. Outside services. These are things that I don't feel I'm really qualified to do, so I kind of need to find a vendor or somebody to work with to do this, like, let's see, put in some copper pipes for the plumbing, add an additional concrete bed in the backyard, stuff like that. Okay, repairs. These are repairs in and around the house that are minor. I think I can handle it, and I will certainly, try to, but I'm not sure I'll be able to. Let's see. Install new smoke detectors. So I got a bunch of new smoke detectors. I need to install them. Okay, little golden books. Those are those little books like the Pokey Little Puppy, and then they have these series called Little Golden Books. They're about yay big with all the stories. Excuse me for a second. Oh. Okay. Excuse me. State quarters. As we know, we're getting new state quarters coming out about, I think, 5 a year. So, the ones that I don't have, I write down here. But I don't write all of them down that aren't out yet, just the ones that have already come out or are coming out fairly soon. Wooden blocks. I wanted to get some wooden blocks so I could put some giant screw eyes in them so I could use them as leverage if I need to lift a heavy object. Okay. Let's see. Labels. If I need to make labels for something, I write down what I need to make labels for. Making index cards are also really good for recording information. For example, I've already painted one room in the house, and it's really hard for me to remember exactly the color, the brand, and so on. But now that I've written it down, I wrote down the store I bought it from, the brand, and the number and name of the paint, as well as the type of finish, i.e. satin, semi-gloss, flat, latex, blah blah blah. Okay. Email. I have a list of people I need to email. download and print. I have a list of things I need to download from the internet and print, like software documentation, maybe stuff from an insurance website, things like that. Let's see. In between tennis instructors, as they say. So what I'm trying to do is figure out a new place to go get lessons. So I have a list of places to investigate. Large electrics. I'd love to get a new refrigerator that's a little more modern, space efficient, energy efficient, things like that. Small electrics. Let's see, vegetable steamer, a laminator. I already have one, as you may already know, but I want to get one that is like top of the line, like the Cadillac of laminators. Oh, and I see some of these things I have already purchased, so we'll just cross those out. What I'll do later with the things I cross out is I'll get those little whiteout tapes. They're dry, and all you need to do is just like run it over, and you're done. Okay, now then, these are for, I hate to say it, semi-permanent things, a little more long-term. For example, I know I'm not going to get my new laminator anytime soon. I simply need to investigate it a little further. So that's why I keep these in the business card size and put them in a little holder, like so. Also, I don't always have time to update the software and then print it out in a format and then, whatever. So sometimes we have to resort to old-fashioned handwriting. So, and let's see, what shall we write on? Well, there's a number of things you can choose from. You can choose like a little Hello Kitty pad of paper, or even a smaller pad of paper. Or if you're into the list format, just a simple, you can get these like 3 or 4 for $1. And the kinds of lists I like to make, there's many. Probably the most important, well, there's a lot, they're all important, I guess. But the first thing I like to do is, if I'm going to the dry cleaner, then in order to save myself time as well as the dry cleaner and avoid the formation of a line behind me, because people here seem to get so annoyed if I've got to wait 2 seconds for something, is I like to write down what I'm taking to the cleaners. It also helps me because that way I know what I gave to them, and I can, when I receive it back, count the items and also make sure that they are giving me back my stuff, not somebody else's. So, and I had already counted these before. 6 business shirts. That means that they're cotton and they can be laundered as opposed to dry cleaned. Now, I already made a scratch list, but you'll see it's not on a standardized paper, which is why I have to rewrite it. Also, I did not write it very neatly. So, let's see. 2 coats, 6 blouses. And you should get things dry cleaned after you wear them, even once, because it'll still stain. By the way, if something has stained to the point where you have to wear it under a jacket, it's probably time to get a new item, like a new blouse. Okay. And we have 4 slacks. So, we're done with that. Tear it off. This can be bunched up and tossed. Another very important list is errands. And if you're careful, you can almost write your errands in such a manner that you're making one single circular round trip. So you're not double backing on El Camino, you're not making multiple U-turns, and it'll save you gas, it'll be much more fuel efficient, and for those of you who are environmental, it's kinder to the environment to make one trip to run many errands rather than just run one errand, come home, run another errand, come home, and so on. So, let's see, again, I had written this not very nicely, so we will double check. Sometimes you don't always have the best paper available, So you have to work with what you have. Okay, so we notice we need to drop off at the dry cleaners. And I'm also remembering that I need to pick up stuff I left there the previous week. Okay. And let's see. I need to go to a car dealer to do a test drive so I can get a free gift. So that's probably going to be a priority for tomorrow because I need to get it done by the end of the month. And then I need to go to a special photo store and pick up some of my very special Varda batteries, which I have mentioned don't leak and are therefore a better, probably more cost effective than getting your standard alkaline batteries. Okay, and lately I've gotten into doing some bead stuff, so I need to pick up some seed beads at a bead shop. And let's see. Now I have a list here of a couple of little things I need to get, but I don't know where to find them. In other words, the store I used to buy this product from no longer carries it. So I call this list Investigate. And that may mean I need to go to a couple of stores. It may mean I need to do some research on the internet. So I am looking for carbon paper, and I am also looking for a particular brand of moth proofer. So I will write those down. Oh, and there's an 800 number for this one. Sometimes you get lucky and you can actually call a vendor and find out if they're still actually carrying a product, perhaps in a different store, or if they discontinued it, if there's another vendor that they can recommend. So there's to investigate. Okay, now let's see. These are, I need to do a couple little things at home. So this list is called At Home. And I usually make my list topic in all capital letters, and sometimes I'll put a single underline, sometimes a double underline. I'll leave that up to you. But let's see, I wanted to set up a trunk I got, which will replace this nasty little thing that's kind of gotten all spanky. Let's see, I've got some paperwork filing to do. And if you let that stuff pile up, frankly, it'll never get done. Let's see, I'll also write I need to do my internet research, which is very important. And while I'm thinking of it, I have another errand, which is to get some gifts for some people at work who got me gifts for whom I have currently nothing. So let's see. So I will write their names. And this way I will make sure that that's completed tomorrow. Okay. Also, it's not too soon to start planning for taxes, which are due April 15th. So I'm going to write that down. I need to organize my papers. And basically what that means is I need to organize my receipts and paperwork and be ready to receive information from employers and statements and so on. Let's see, so this is done. And now I need to make some appointments with some vendors. So I'll make this thing appointments. a single underline. And let's see. I like to use this kind of pen, which is a Sharpie Ultra Fine Point. That writes very neatly and solidly so you can see what you wrote, as well as if you write with a pen, it doesn't have the same impact. So I'll usually use a blue, red is too negative, or a green. So, and I try to get something off of my permanent list, you know, like one a month or something, just so I can try to keep up with all the activities I have to work on. And the most important list of all is cleaning, right? Right. So, I need to vacuum. Need to clean the kitchen floor, as well as the breakfast nook. Very important, need to do laundry. Put away some bags from, we took a recent trip to Las Vegas. See, I need to de-lint the sofa. Let's see. Oh, and I need to rinse out the trash bins and the recycling bins. This keeps the ants at bay, and it makes the outside look neater if your trash cans are nice and clean on the inside as well as the outside. And I am planning to do a show on that, but the weather has just been yucky and not very agreeable. Okay, so these are things I had written at the spur of the moment, and sometimes I keep lists in some weird places. So I'm just going to look and make sure I don't have any other lists. Okay, yes, and in fact I do. So we're gonna, some of these we're gonna need to put onto cards, and that needs to be done at the computer. These are things I need to pick up, so that's why I keep these receipts separately. So we can put these back. And I don't think I have any other lists. Oh, what's in here? Uh-oh, got more stuff in here. This is a problem with having many pockets in one's purse. So, some of these aren't really lists, they're more little things I need to put together in a spreadsheet. I'm taking on a second job, as it were, and so need to get prepared for that, because in the day job they are trying to pretend like the economy is affecting them, even though that's so not true. And they're saying, oh, blah, 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 and so that's their excuse to not give raises this year. So these employers, they can turn something that's negative into something that's even more negative than it was to begin with. So I apologize in advance to anybody, or I shouldn't apologize, but I feel your pain for those of you who are experiencing something similar, because it's just very unpleasant times to deal with any of this. But we can put all this away for now, and I need to make some little cheat sheets and stuff on these kind of things. So this will kind of have to go off to the side, but it certainly doesn't belong in my purse. So it's good that we at least got it out of the purse. Oh, let's see, I promised somebody that I would send them a copy of my show synopsis and titles and stuff. So I will write the name down. Of course, I could put this in my send on my send email list. this one is, kind of want to do it and get it out of the way. So we'll put that there. Okay, well, I think we made some good progress on taking care of some of our list writing activities, and we have a lot more to do. But remember, just keep it in small lists or something like this, and make sure you cross off items once you complete it, because that is the best feeling of satisfaction, is to actually complete everything that's on your list. And that's it for today's show. And, oh, it's not it for today's show. Uh-oh.
Sorry, you have like another minute or two to go.
Okay. Well, it doesn't really matter. Let's see, but I do need to, I'll put this on the errands, need to go to the Hallmark store, because you can get these wonderful little calendars from them that just fit in your wallet. So we'll say Hallmark 2002 card. I'll put this away. And this is from my semi-permanent list, so that's another item that we'll have to address. Were there any questions from the audience?
None from here.
Oh. Okay, so to sum up, we've listed errands, things to investigate, cleaning activities, and again, the smaller you can make this list, the better.
You mean smaller as in the number of items on it, or smaller in the...
Number of items on it.
I see.
Appointments, at-home errands, because these are, they're not cleaning, they're like sort of organizing things at home.
Now, do you keep all your lists in the same place, or you keep the home ones at home and the work ones at work?
Everything is in the same place. The work ones, sometimes I kind of keep at work. I am watching you.
Okay.
The work ones at work, and mostly I don't keep a list at work because it's just a day job. So.
Let's hope they're not watching this episode.
And their priorities change faster than some people change their underwear. So they will never... Why bother making a list? Because then they'll find out what you're up to and then they'll change your list on you. That's why I keep that at home too. So, okay. Again, you must write neatly. If you cannot write neatly, you may type your list. If you type it, put it on little index cards. These are best. And I'm the Anal Retentive Housewife saying it's not just a show, it's a way of life.